Assalamu alaikum. We're live and we have, mashallah, the Subboor Ahmad on the show, bro. On the live today, mashallah. Assalamu alaikum. People are going to come on very soon, inshallah. So, bro, this is going to be saved. You look fine, mashallah.
Lack of sleep, brothers.
Okay, bro. So, talk to me. Where have you been for the past about 7 months, 8 months? We haven't seen you.
Yeah,
Actually,
so-
no, they have been seeing you in Pakistan in different places.
Yeah,
So, you've been in Pakistan. I've just.
I've been in Pakistan. I even went to your hometown,
Yeah.
Sialkot.
Sialkot, yeah,
yeah,
mashallah.
I went there.
Alhamdulillah.
You have a lot of factories and a lot of things down there.
You ain't got the questions up.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, while you get some questions up, brothers and sisters, friends, whoever's on, we're going to be talking about a few things with Subboor. Let me get close to you, bro, so we can both fit in the frame.
Yeah.
So we're going to be speaking to Subboor Ahmad, who has joined us. Sorry about that, Sheikh. Who has joined us in London again. MashaAllah, he's back from Pakistan for a couple of days. He has a debate on Friday, this Friday, in Oxford. Oxford Forum, isn't it? The
Yeah.
debate. So make sure whoever is in the UK to
They should
show
go,
up.
go
Yeah.
to the page and check it out.
Yeah, I'll link the page in the
No,
description box.
just Google, just put my name in. It's on my Facebook.
Okay, so it's on his Facebook page, Subboor Ahmad, and you can find all the details there. Make sure to go there and show your support, inshallah, if you are in or around Oxford. Even if you're traveling, you have to travel in from Birmingham or Manchester or anywhere in the UK, inshallah. So there's going to be questions that are coming up. Subboor's still trying to, no, it's dark.
I'm trying to log in.
Okay. Never mind if you can't.
There
Leave
you
it,
go.
don't
There
worry.
you
We'll
go,
just
you
see
got
it here.
questions.
We'll see it here, inshallah. Okay, brothers and sisters, so the aim today, and friends, is to sort of answer your Q&A, talk a little bit about the debate, talk a little bit about evolution, talk a little, can't not talk about evolution if you're on the show.
You can't stop me from
Yeah,
talking about
it's
evolution.
going to happen anyway. Most of the university talks that you've been doing in Pakistan and stuff like that, which is general talks, there's always a link to Darwin or evolution somewhere.
It's just at the back of my mind.
Okay, while we're talking about that, bro, why don't you tell us about your experiences in Pakistan and in particular in regards to the whole topic of evolution? Is it a big thing there? Is it discussed? Is it something that's brought up? Have you been addressing it? How have you been addressing it? What type of questions have come up?
So look, the whole idea of evolution,
Yeah.
it's related to the existence of God. That's the issue. The issue is that we have this perspective, evolution undermines the existence of God. We are trying to challenge that perspective.
Is the same in
Yeah.
Pakistan as well?
What's interesting is it's a Muslim country, majority Muslim people. So even people that come across evolutionary theory, the Darwinian variant or different variant, and they're exposed to it and they don't know about the philosophy of science and how things are inductive, they're just like, well, we don't know. Maybe Allah did this. Maybe Allah just, obviously they believe Allah did everything, but maybe this is the mechanism by which Allah created, and maybe this is actually true. And then they just carry on praying, fasting, reading Quran, and doing what Muslims do. So it's not a big issue. It's not a big issue. The link between atheism and evolution is not as strong. So what you have is, okay, maybe this happened. Khalas, just carry on. You just carry on with your life. Carry on doing what you want. So it's very different. It's very interesting. It's very different to the way that evolution is perceived in the Western world.
Yeah.
Where evolution is seen as atheistic. Because what it is that is the real issue. It's not about whether Darwinian evolution is true or not. It's really bottomed down about, does it mean there is no God? And in the Pakistani context, a lot of people who don't know how to challenge Darwinism, for them, it's just like, well, maybe this will happen.
Yeah. So, okay, let's start with that. Why is it presented that way? Why is it always, it's either Darwinian evolution or God?
You see, the atheists, they're trying to build a narrative. They're trying to build a narrative of a dichotomy, right? So they're trying to say, right, science or God. That's what you got to choose.
Yeah.
Right? You can't choose both. You're going to be an idiot. You have to choose one.
Yeah.
So they're trying to build that narrative. We're trying to challenge that narrative. And we're trying to challenge that narrative by Darwin's own teaching. So for me, it's not, I think I'm misunderstood a bit. It's not about going around debating with people about homology and debating people about probabilistic framework and assumptions. It's really about fundamentally telling people it doesn't undermine God. And then you can also give the inductive nature. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with an atheist not too long ago.
Yeah.
And he was he brought up the standard thing. Oh, you believe in evolution, yeah? as a way of rejecting God. I said, well, why can't you believe in both? Why can't you believe in God and evolution? And he was like, he never thought about it.
Yeah.
He just never thought about it. You see? So sometimes that's the best answer. Sometimes you don't, because look, at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares about any scientific theory? The only reason why we care about this particular theory rather than string theory is because this theory supposedly says God is redundant. And that's what we want to challenge. We want to say, actually, no, it's nonsense.
And that's the most fundamental point that we need to get across.
Everything else is just extra.
Yeah. It's, so someone's asking.
But also, actually, interestingly, showing the inductive nature of science will educate people better about science, because it will undo another taghut, another false deity they have, which is that science is the only root of knowledge. And that's what breaks down as well.
Yeah. We'll talk about why that's the case and how that came to be, bro. I'm going to pick your brain. Some people said you need some good sleep anyway, and he's not slept for. He came back this morning from Pakistan, straight into the office, and I've made sure that we've got him online today to do this, mashallah. So someone asked, why debate, Alex?
Well, okay. So look, atheists love speaking about human rights.
Yeah.
They speak about human rights like they're the champions of human rights. We defend human rights. We believe in human rights. They talk about human rights as much as theists would speak about the existence of God, right?
Yes.
You would think there is something within the atheist worldview that just makes it an imperative to go out and talk about human rights. Now, of course, Alex doesn't see atheism as justifying that. He sees it as being consistent. Nonetheless, atheists in general, you see them, their writings, their public figures, they're speaking about human rights. So talks, lectures, it's just full of this stuff. And the question is, why? Why are you talking about rights? Because human rights, if you are going to, remember these skeptics, right? These atheists, right? They need to justify stuff. So if they believe in human rights, give us a justification. And that's what it's about. Because Alex, I put out a video saying, look, evolution undermines the existence of morality, undermines human rights, undermines ethics. And then he replied back saying, no, evolution doesn't do that. Evolution, is just a biological theory. And I corrected him on that. And so what I wanted to do is, look, I don't like this back and forth online. I like to actually be like, have a face-to-face conversation. Okay, what's going on?
No, that's what I was thinking, because back and forth online don't go anywhere.
No,
because after your video, I did a video on animal rights, because you spoke about animal rights.
Yeah, you made a response to that.
And I just thought it was very funny after the response you gave to him. But I didn't respond because I didn't bother with it. But at least it'll be addressed now. You or me, alhamdulillah. As long as it, I think it's going to be.
Well, people think
it's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be the only difference you talk about Darwin a lot, and I don't. So look, there was a question here. I think it's by, they say evolution happens in both a God universe and a godless universe. So I think in a universe that's with God or without God, it is not specific. So I think that's more of a statement, isn't it?
I think say anything regarding that? If I understood the person correctly, what they're trying to say is that it's compatible. Evolution as an idea is compatible with the idea of atheism and theism. Yes, that's true.
Okay. So they always bring up moral arguments against Islam. Someone's pointing this out. This sort of deals with the whole thing about human rights, right?
Look, put it this way, You're sitting down enjoying a sandwich. You're just sitting down enjoying a sandwich, right? Somebody bursts into the room, starts telling you, you, sir, are immoral. Why? Because you're not wearing gloves. And that person happens to be naked. Not only did he make you uncomfortable, he's talking nonsense because he's not wearing any clothes. Likewise, the emperor has no clothes. Atheists are talking about human rights. They have no justification for it. It's not consistent to be an atheist and believe in human rights. And that's what I'm trying to say. Look, they're loud and they scream about human rights. Yet human rights under their worldview are what? They're what exactly? Defend them. So that's what, well, look, this is important, Alex, he's different to other atheists. They believe atheism, some of them, they believe atheism is a worldview and it can justify things, right? It was consistent. He doesn't believe atheism can justify something. He says that you can be consistent in being an atheist and believing in human rights. That's the motion I'm going to challenge. I'm going to say that's nonsense.
Okay,
that's not true.
We're going to leave that for the debate. We're not going to get into it today. But let's just touch upon what you just mentioned now prior to that specific debate topic. You've said it a couple of times now. Atheism cannot justify, at least ontologically, the foundations of human rights and these concepts, but they have humanism and they speak out against atrocities that take place in the world, and they champion, this whole thing about this is right, this is bad, this is evil, attack religion. Hitchens, for example, his life mission was to attack religion and the teachings of religion and the moral outlook of religion. Why can't they justify human rights, morals, ethics on atheism? Why? Give us a few reasons, or one reason.
Well, firstly, they're skeptics, right?
Okay.
And a skeptic, this is according to their own definition. They need to believe in something.
Yeah.
They need to justify something in order to believe in it. So the onus is on them. The burden of proof is upon them to give an argument. I don't need to show why it doesn't make sense. I can show why it doesn't make sense under atheism, but they need to give an argument.
They're making the positive
Now the thing is, this is important, right? This is important. Alex, he is better than people like Sam Harris. Why? Because Sam Harris tries to make an objective basis for morality based upon science, and Alex has critiqued that. So that aspect, I have to say, I found that very respectable.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. No, I'll be honest with you. If there is a Muslim who goes out there and he corrects another Muslim in front of other non-Muslims, that's powerful. Why? That's basically saying I care about integrity. So I like that. I like the fact that he disagrees with people like Sam Harris. I think that's a very good thing.
Yes.
However, I still don't think his view works. I don't think that view works.
Okay. So when it comes to Sam Harris, he would want to push a sort of explain objective morals through science, basically, right? That's what he attempts to do. And where he gets caught up is when he gives this idea of, good is whatever results in flourishing, and bad is whatever results in pain and suffering.
And
when challenged on that, as he has been, he doesn't have much to fall back on. Right? Other than this, it's intuitive, it's intuition. It just seems right, it feels right. What is one of the things you're going to really try to sort of establish and highlight during this debate is that you have no claim, so why are you making the claim? So you're saying the onus of proof is on their side of the fence. What could they come back with?
Well, I don't want to get into too much details here, but Alex has his own particular way of trying to explain how you can be an atheist and consistently believe in human rights, even though these things do not ontologically exist as ontological principles, right? That is his argument. That to be consistent, you need to believe in these sort of core moral ideas. So there's several issues with that, but the first thing which I really want to highlight is this. In a way, that is a really powerful admission so far that we do not believe in objective rights, right? So what it is trying to build a worldview from the ashes of breaking down objective morality. Imagine objective morality is a building, it's been crumbled, you're trying to build it up from subjectivity. So he has, I think, a very intelligent way of trying to build that, right? So he's like, well, we subjectively all have this idea of pain being bad and pleasure being good, and then since we all have this idea, then we can all have this sort of this collective consensus and building upon that, and XYZ and maximizing pleasure, and he has this utilitarian sort of idea. So that's what we're going to get into details about, but
and we're going to leave that for the debate. It's going to be...
But the thing is, look, this topic is important because already without getting any further, already as far as the argument as Alex has made, it shows what a dangerous situation the atheists are in, because here they are talking so loudly about human rights, and already people like him, they're intelligent enough to recognize, do you know what? We do not have an objective basis. So even from the starting point of his argument, they've already conceded a lot of territory.
Okay. Brilliant. So let's go through. Yeah, absolutely.
Or were you just looking at
I was half listening. I'm going to watch this back and then I'll get what you're saying, inshallah.
Don't make me get violent.
No, but as long as everyone else has understood, that's what's important, inshallah.
You might scare people by sticking your face.
They're probably getting scared by the direction your beard's going in as well right now. Someone asked a question about what's your thoughts on learning Islam from anti-Islamic websites?
Why the hell would you do that?
I don't know. I think it's a non-Muslim guest probably asking that question.
No, look, there's so much propaganda against Islam. Learning Islam, learn it from Muslims. Learn it from the Quran. Read the Quran yourself in a language you understand. Firstly, what I would recommend any non-Muslim to do, and even a Muslim to do, ask Allah for help. Ask God for help. Oh, I'm not sure if God exists. Ask God for help. Right? The thing is, look, Allah's mercy is such that you, even if you are doubtful, there is a God, Allah will answer your prayer. That doesn't mean, oh, I want a Lamborghini, you get a Lamborghini. No. As in, Allah, you're asking for guidance, Allah will guide you. Even if you're confused. Oh God, I'm not sure. Right? Please, guide me. Yeah. Even if you're confused, which is why I believe, this whole idea of let's prove rationally there's a God first. Let's then do this. Let's then do that. No, sometimes you just, in fact, not sometimes. I think it's best to just skip all those things and say, look, pray.
Okay,
pray. See what happens. Right?
Inshallah.
Ask for guidance, because guidance is a matter of the heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not that guidance is not for farmers and it's for philosophers. No, guidance is for everybody, regardless of your intelligence. You have really analytically intelligent people who don't believe in God.
Yes.
And really analytically weak people who may believe in God. But the fact is, true intelligence is not just analytical. True intelligence is following the truth.
Yeah.
From that perspective, anybody who asks for guidance, Allah will guide them.
Someone said about reconcile that we can reconcile Islam with evolution, but we don't need to. Do you want to touch upon that?
Look, that's a long topic. Okay. That's a long topic. But look, I would say this, right? There's some really, really good brothers out there doing fantastic work. I mean, it's not my area, the correlation between Islam and evolution, right?
Yeah.
However, my area is enough for this. It doesn't undermine God. Even Darwinian evolution doesn't undermine God. That's the most important thing. 2, science is inductive in nature. You can't say something, scientific theory is absolutely true. So therefore, it does not undermine God, does not undermine the Quran, even if it was true or false or whatever, who cares? So, Professor Shoaib Abdul Malik, the other brother is Usman Ali, Sheikh Usman Ali. They've done really good work. Yeah. I mean, in terms of Islam and evolution, right? And the good thing about these brothers is that they have a strong understanding of the Islam, of Islam, and they have a strong understanding of biological evolution. And the really important thing here is they're not coconuts. Yeah. So they don't say like, okay, let's try and refit science into the Quran. They're more like, and I've spoken to them both personally about this. They see Islam as primary. Yeah. And then they see, okay, what does Islam logically allow? Okay, these are possibilities, these are possibilities, these are possibilities. This is not a possibility. This is a possibility. Yeah. But with the paradigm, with the lens, with, if you like, the framework of Iman, Islam comes first. Then let's see. Yeah. Right? That's what's important. Because if you look at a lot of the work that's being done with Islam and evolution, it's more like, well, evolution is true. Yeah. Let's shoehorn, astaghfirullah, let's shoehorn the Quran into the science. Yeah. No. Yeah. We don't do that. Why? Because we believe in Allah, we believe in the Quran, that is primary. Yeah. Science comes secondary. Yeah. Which is why, this is the reason why I recommend these brothers. Yeah. Even though, to be honest, I don't fully understand all of their views, because they're very sophisticated, and Brother Shoaib has a book coming out next year on this. I fully love the fact that they start with Islam as true, and then they look at these things, and that for me is enough to endorse people.
On that point, bro, let me pick your brain a bit more. So look, there's this whole thing. You feel it when sometimes your Muslims are speaking to you, that although they understand what you're saying regarding science, regarding Islam, but there is this underlying, almost this need they have to try and reconcile everything with Islam, with science, about Islam with science. It's almost like there are underlying philosophical ideas which are embedded in the hearts and minds of people, which they just can't shake off. What do you think those underlying reasons are which lead to this type of
It's the same problem in Bani Israel.
Yeah.
We want to see Allah. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter that the sea parted for us. It doesn't matter that we saw the miracles and the Messenger of Allah, Musa alayhi salam, is with us, right? We want to see Allah. That stupid way of thinking has affected the Muslims.
Where did that come in?
This is a byproduct of materialism. When you're focusing on material, then when it comes to religion, when it comes to existence of Allah, then it's like, well, we need material evidence. Well, Allah is not seen. He's not seen. He's nothing like creation. He's, there's very simple things you can say about him, but when you try and comprehend Allah beyond that, it's beyond you. But Allah has made this world such that whoever wants to recognize Him, they'll recognize Him, and it'll be clear as daylight.
Yeah.
Whoever doesn't, they can see all the signs. Even if they were to, Allah says, go to the heavens.
Yeah.
They would say, "Oh, we're hallucinating."
Yeah.
They'll go into that Descartesian, evil demon, confusing me, probes in my brain and Mars, all that crap.
Yeah.
So what it is this, what was I saying?
You're sticking probes into people's
That's
brains.
it.
Yeah.
Basically, they don't want to believe. So anything is not going to work. And what we need to realize is this, as Muslims, we need to be at the forefront of pushing the message of Islam. Because when we go out and we speak to 1,000 people, 2 or 3 of them, we may, by the permission of Allah, change their hearts. It won't be the majority, 2 or 3. And those 2 and 3, they may have more quality than 90% of the Muslims. And I've seen it in my own life. I've seen in my own life people accept Islam and they're so much better than myself and other Muslims. Why? Because Allah is replacing some people with others. You can't take Islam through your genes. I'm Muslim, and because my parents are Muslim. No. And the thing is, look, new atheism and the threat of new atheism, we need to deal with it in a way that's decisive. Not, they come with scientism, let's try and fit scientism in Islam, let's try and fit Quran in science and this and that. No. Just go directly to the source and say, guys, you don't know what you're talking about. Science never came from you in the first place. Science cannot be justified under atheism. What are you guys talking about? Without belief in God, these things are not even possible. Do you even understand the philosophy of science? Do you even understand these things? And what I don't like is I don't like Muslims in debates or discussions being like, oh, I sort of agree with your perspective, but it's like go big or go home. Deal with the issue at the hand. You got an atheist there, smash him. Don't just be like, oh, I don't mean all atheists. What I mean is like the militant atheists, new atheists, right? Not every atheist.
Because there's many
majority of
atheists
atheists are nice. Majority of atheists are nice, and you should be nice to them.
Genuinely
Come on, militant atheists, because remember, the militant atheist, you gotta smash his arguments. You gotta make him look petty, because remember, this militant atheism, right? What they're trying to do, they're trying to make people nihilistic. Just like they're nihilistic. And that leads to what? Suicides, depression, and sadness.
We see that. We live in a world where, from a material perspective, everyone has pretty much everything. Like never before in history, but people are suffering. Emotionally and spiritually, etc. But just to caveat what Subboor is saying, and there was a reason I wanted to bring him on without any sleep, is to get this passion and energy, mashallah. Yes, that's all. I'm feeling it as well, mashallah. But at the same time, most atheists, like you said, are completely honest and genuinely looking and searching, and they're confused and they may be ignorant of certain things. So we have to approach them with love and compassion and mercy. But obviously,
not new atheist apologists. Apologists. But then again, you're most likely not going to, interact with a new atheist apologist. You do get these trolls online. But that's the reason why, with some of them, you show harshness. And I don't just mean harshness for the sake of harshness, just random ad hominem attacks or random, slating off people. I mean, their argument has to be decisively uprooted, ripped out from its roots and shown.
Deal with the arguments.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. You just got waffle, right? You just got technical jargon, a bit of, sophistry. That's all you got. Technical jargon and rhetoric, And this is important because people are fickle, People look at, oh, look at this guy, he's intelligent, he's talking. You look at all these fanboys and fangirls of Christopher Hitchens, and they're like, oh, Hitch slap and this and that, and this YouTube clip, Hitchens did this. Sit them down, grab them and say to them, repeat what he said, repeat his argument, put it in a logical syllogism. What was he saying? They don't know. He just sounded eloquent.
Brother Yusuf says salam, by the way. He's asking, how does it feel to be on British soil again?
Ah, Yusuf.
Mashallah.
Yusuf ponders. Bruv, that guy, he's like a G.
Mashallah. Common Sense is asking, can you ask Subboor why atheists...
How does it feel to be on British soil? Sorry, Yusuf, I'm tired, So it's good to be home. I've been smiling since I've been here, except reluctantly Imran forced me to come down.
I
and do
told
a
him,
live.
don't even comb your
In
hair.
Pakistan, it's actually 12:30, and I sleep early, and we're 5 hours behind here in the
You're
UK.
doing well. You're doing well, mashallah.
Yeah, we're
You're
fine.
doing well. People are enjoying this, mashallah. Look, they're benefiting. At least they're benefiting. Alhamdulillah. Look, comments.
But do people like the fact that your face is stuck in the camera?
I
Can you
have
move a bit
to.
more
I have to
further back?
because I can't read the questions from further back, and you haven't
And
logged
you get
into
that
your
fish
internet.
eye. You know
Okay.
that fish lens thing.
Okay, so there's a question from Common Sense. Can you ask Subboor why atheists say a belief is a claim when a belief is an acceptance of a claim? So maybe you understand. I don't know the context there.
Sorry,
Common
I'm
Sense.
tired.
Uh,
I don't know what.
okay. Talking about memes, we won't get into that because you're not in the state right now. I think just something simple. Let's see if there's any other questions. What are your thoughts on truthfulness of Islam? So, what are your thoughts on Islamophobia? This question's come up a couple of times. What are your thoughts on it? How should we respond? I know it's a different
That's
question.
not my
but-
area.
Okay. When is someone gonna take on Douglas Murray?
Douglas Murray, right? Let me just say this, right? Douglas Murray is a very intelligent guy who's written some good stuff and some bad stuff, but some really good stuff in his book, A Strange Death of Europe. Yes, he's anti-immigration,
Yeah.
anti-Islam, and whatnot. However, here's what's very, very interesting about him. He is honest about the fact that Western civilization is based on the idea of faith, was based on the idea of faith. And now we have a crisis of meaning. And now, even though he doesn't believe in God,
Yeah.
he sees religion as playing an extremely important instrumental role in society. Because look, at the end of the day, yeah, and I've said this before, and I'm going to stick to my guns on this, yeah, anything good in the Western world, and there is a lot of good, has come from Christianity. It hasn't come from atheism and secularism.
Yeah.
So the good traits that they have is from Christianity. And when they've turned away from Christianity, as Abdurrahim Green once said to me, it's like children getting inheritance and just squandering it.
Yeah.
That's what the atheists are doing to
Yeah.
Western civilization. So the downfall, the decline of the Western civilization, economically, politically, socially, all these issues that they're having, you can trace it back to the nihilism, to the atheism,
Yeah.
to the secularism,
Yeah.
right? Not to the true Christian values upon which Western civilization is based. In fact, till today, and this is what Murray says, right? Christian dreams, like the idea of human rights and like these sort of ideas, right? They are still dreamt by people who don't believe in God, but were formerly, Europeans were Christian. So what it is that we need to understand as Muslims, this wave of success that the Western world has at the moment, economic wealth, right? This didn't come out of a vacuum. It came out of Christianity, and we're seeing the decline of the Western civilization now because of atheism.
Yes.
Atheists have screwed it up. Yeah. And look at the universities.
Yeah.
Universities, right? The universities that were set up here, they were set up by Christians, right? And the idea of human rights and the writing down human rights and arguing for human rights, again, Christians.
Yeah.
So there's very, very good things in Christianity which were part and parcel of the Western narrative. Even now we still have the remnants of their architecture, not physical architecture, but in terms of their theological values and these types of things. These things are still there. And what we need to recognize is why people like Douglas Murray are good is they point that out.
Yeah.
They're an atheist and they recognize the success of the Western world was based upon Christianity.
Yeah, I suppose interesting, but what you're saying is Nietzsche said something very similar, because when he said God is dead, most atheists think, oh look, he's championing atheism, yeah. But no, Ken James, one of the leading professors on Nietzsche, he has very interesting insights on this. He says that when Nietzsche said this in his writings, he was speaking to those that had already given up on God, and he was speaking to the humanists and the secularists, and he was trying to tell them, you killed God, but now what's going to follow because of this, these values that you're holding on to, these Christian values you're holding on to, you're going to eventually have to let them go because you're not going to be able to ground them anymore. And therefore he predicted the next 2 centuries were going to be nihilistic. And he was right. That's the direction he's going in, right?
There's a reason why they call him the atheist prophet.
Yeah.
Because even though he's an atheist, he made predictions.
He's right.
Prophetic. And what's powerful about Nietzsche is he was bang on right.
Yeah.
He was bang on right. And I had some conversations with Yusuf, not sure if he's still online on this, right?
He's there, I think.
So what I said to him is thank you for teaching me this information about nihilism, because I've now come to realize this is the most powerful argument against new atheism, right? There is nothing more powerful. It's not, oh my God, look at us, we have this rational argument for God.
Yeah.
Look at them, they have a dumb argument for God.
Yeah.
Or look at them, they can't believe in morals. The most powerful argument is the sadness, depression, and meaninglessness that you have with this incredibly poor worldview of atheism. I mean, I was actually saying to Yusuf, yeah? I think I was saying to Yusuf, I don't remember. Well, actually, I made a video about this, my last video on Darwinian delusions about nihilism. I said, when thinking or talking about nihilism, I get upset. And I don't believe in nihilism. I'm Muslim. I'm just trying to think, how the heck do atheists survive with nihilism?
Bro, I've tasted it myself.
Yeah.
I've lived it like for many years, and the depression, anxiety I went through was because of this. Because I turned away from, like, the way I lived was in like any secular atheist would live. And that came with consequences, basically, that I had to face. There was no meaning or value in life, and I couldn't live with that reality.
The thing is, Imran, what you could have done, right, is you could have just used escapism.
Yeah.
Just kept yourself busy with different vices, kept yourself busy with different objectives. Like my plan is to make the world a better place. Okay, make the world a better place. So what? Yeah. It's meaningless anyway.
But I tried. That didn't work for more than a few hours.
That's the thing.
Because the same questions apply to that.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's because you were not delusional. You decided, okay, I need to face the demon.
Yeah.
Face these nihilistic issues. Most people, I truly believe, most even atheists, they do know there's an elephant in the room. They just keep fighting it off. They just keep themselves busy. There's one atheist who told me, he was first someone who believed in God, then he became an atheist, then he came back to Islam. He said something very interesting. He said when he was an atheist, the questions kept coming to him. Where did I come from? What am I supposed to do in this life? Where am I going?
Yeah.
He said these questions, they were always there. They could not go away.
Yes. We can't. It's your. See, this is my thing, and I've said this so many times. As soon as you adopt these worldviews of atheism and naturalism, it puts you in a position, bro, where you cannot account for those things you know to be true deep down inside.
Yeah.
Right? It strips you from being able to account for those truths that make you human.
Yeah.
Make you flipping human at the end of the day. And that's the most painful situation. That disparity in your own mind is the most painful thing to live with.
Yeah.
That you know something is true, but the worldview you're adopting and holding on to strips you from being able to account for those truths. Right? And that's the most painful thing. And like you said, most people just cover it up and they don't want to deal with it. But just two more last things, bro. Someone asked about student biryani. Do you have any thoughts on, someone is smiling and I think it's like an inside joke or something. Something about student biryani.
Yeah, student biryani is a type of biryani you get from Karachi. I went there and I didn't eat it.
Okay. Was that it? Okay. I had a question for you, bro.
Better not.
Did you bring the cooker with you? The what are they called? Cooker.
You know. It's really
every single one of your videos has as the cooker go off, like
it's
literally.
really funny, yeah. And I hope my neighbors don't see this. But they have all these chickens.
Was your neighbors? Yeah.
Yeah. They're across the road. Yeah. They have all these chickens that are running around, and my sister was driving. Yeah. She came to my house. She accidentally ran over one of them, and then the neighbors were like trying to work out. Ran over the chicken.
Someone killed the chicken.
Yeah, no, she ran over the chicken by accident.
Oh, SubhanAllah. Well, you just told all of Pakistan, or a lot of people from Pakistan that you're...
Just, if you happen to live in I-82, it's 340.
Don't mention the chicken. Is that why we never heard it in the other videos that you did recently?
I-8 Markaz. Huh?
Is that why we've not been hearing the chicken in the background? What chicken
in the background?
The one that goes off whenever you start a video.
No, it's still there.
Okay.
Look, I-8... Very long story short, that whole area, is like, my sister lives on what street again? Long story short, it's okay. Like, the motto is, don't make a commercial area into a chicken farm, because your chickens are gonna get run over eventually. Yeah. But anyway, I was just pointing to.
Yeah, it's become a hallmark of your videos, man. It's like almost a.
I was actually in the house trying to make a video once, and I could still hear them.
Yeah.
And weird thing is, when I'm just sitting there working, it's like you don't notice them. As soon as you switch on the
It's
video,
probably shaitan,
you start thinking, what the heck is going on?
SubhanAllah. Okay, bro. So I think that's good. We can end there. So, brothers and sisters, friends, if you haven't already, mashallah, make sure to subscribe to Darwinian Delusions. Anything and everything to do with evolution is there. Everything that he's covered in a lot more detail is there. So make sure to subscribe. Also, make sure if you are in the UK and you can reach Oxford on Friday, make sure to be there for the debate. It's going to be a phenomenal debate, inshallah. I think it's going to be one of the best debates, especially on this topic, inshallah, God willing. And so make sure to come out and support the debate. You can go onto Subboor's Facebook page and find all the details. The poster is going to be there. I'll put the link in to the poster or the sign up page or whatever it is in the description box of this video.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say? When are you going back to Pakistan? Are you here?
I'm going
More
back
videos?
next week.
We're going to do a post debate video too, inshallah, after the debate next week, hopefully. Yeah.
What did I want to say? Yeah. When it comes to us as Muslims and what we're trying to achieve in terms of Islam being the predominant religion, one thing which I see a lot is people despairing. Yeah, so people are like, oh, look at the Muslims. Shouldn't we work on the Muslims first? Muslims are drinking, womanizing, committing zina, taking interest, and they're doing this. Why don't we just focus on the Muslims? Yeah. So I just wanted to say something about this. What I want you to recognize is that Muslims, they have access to Islam. So if they're not practicing, that's their fault. Vast majority of the time. However, a non-Muslim living in Latin America, living in Africa, living in Europe somewhere, he doesn't have that access. So if there's a group of people who have access and who are not listening, and there's a group of people who don't even have access, then our priority should be to give those people at least access. Because these people, to be honest, anybody who's not really practicing, drinking, whatever they're doing, materialism, not even a particular vice, but just the whole idea of materialism, they can easily access why these things are wrong. And they even know, most of the time they even know. But non-Muslims who are our neighbors, our colleagues and whatnot, they have no idea. When their darkest moments, when somebody passes away, when they're feeling down, when they're worried about existentialism, why are we here? They don't have an answer.
Yeah.
So what we need to do as Muslims is we need to not despair and understand, yes, there are people out there who, once the message of Islam goes to them, they will accept it. They may be in the minority, they may be in the extreme minority, but they will, and they deserve to know. They deserve to know. Because I've seen time and time again that Allah will guide the hearts of people in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere. I went to Uruguay. In Uruguay, outside of the capital city, whatever it's called, right? We went to a farmhouse.
Yeah.
Farmhouse in the middle of nowhere. And on this farmhouse, we met a Uruguayan convert to Islam. And I was literally thinking to myself, Uruguay, South America, where they have a population of Uruguayan, like 3 million or something, there's a remote farmhouse. And in the remote farmhouse, this guy, he found out we came from the UK, so he wanted to, slaughter for us a sheep, and then us for having a barbecue, a Uruguayan barbecue, which is like really, really good. And we prayed Salah in his house. And I was just thinking, my God, look at this house in this farm, in this wilderness. And behind there was like a river, there was like crocodiles, not big ones, but small type. They were not crocodiles, they were this other creature, I've forgotten what it's called. Armadillo. Armadillo. Totally distinct to crocodile. I don't know why I said crocodile, yeah? So anyway, you had all these creatures, and I was just thinking to myself, this man is in the middle of nowhere. And the Prophet ﷺ spoke the truth. This deen will reach every house. It will reach every house. This guy, it's reached him. And it reached him because somebody reached out. So what we need to do is, my advice is, I get this a lot from Muslims. Work on Muslims. I'm like, why should I work on Muslims? Yeah. You have Tablighi Jamaat for that. You have other people working on that. Yeah. We need to work on the non-Muslims. We need to understand, at this time of social media, this is the perfect time to spread Islam. If the Sahaba were alive today, say if Amr bin As radiallahu anhu was alive today, what do you think he'd be doing? How would he spread Islam? He would, I believe, absolutely be using social media. Going crazy. You know, we think about social media, we think of negative, negative, negative. Social media is a very positive tool. If your values are good, you'll see the good stuff. If your values are bad, you're going to find the bad stuff.
Yeah.
But social media is a powerful medium to talk to people you never talked to before. You know, one of the things I try and do sometimes is just try and randomly tweet people. You know, if somebody has a thing about depression or this and that, you put out a quote about Islam. It affects people that you could never ever imagine. Yeah, people appreciate that. Yeah. So my advice is, you know, people are like, I want to join IERA, I want to join a Dawah team, I want to join Yaqeen Institute, I want to join Bayana, I want to do this. You don't need to do that. You just need to just pick up this little thing, right? And Quranic verses, start tweeting them. Narrations of the Prophet ﷺ, start tweeting them. It doesn't have to be a long lecture. I mean, we live in a time of memes, yeah? People love these little pictures. You know, sometimes on my phone, rather than reading the Quran, you know, because obviously you can just read the PDF and stuff. Sometimes when I'm just, for some reason, I just Google images, right? Quran verse, and you start flicking through, you get different verses. Literally, it's one verse, you read it, and it's got a nice picture, and it boosts you, right? Just share one of those pictures. Do what you can with what you have, and remember, success comes from Allah. It doesn't come by, oh, look at me, I've got this amazing argument, I'm very good, I'm very eloquent, I'm this, I'm that. No, it comes from Allah. And if you keep that at the forefront, Allah will give you success, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, bro. Thank you for coming on. So make sure to share this video, get this out to as many people as possible. I'm going to
41 minutes we've been going.
Yeah,
how long did you say we were going to do this?
As long as people benefit, then do what you said to people to do, which is carry on sharing the message. I'm stopping this short. Others would have carried on for another hour, bro. And I'm sure they would have stayed on for another hour. So make sure to share the video. Click on it, subscribe on this YouTube channel. Check out our other resources online. OneReason.org is a phenomenal website for non-Muslims. If you want to share something in text and writing for non-Muslims, the basics, make sure to share that. IERA.org is where the debate's going to go up very soon after the debate is done, God willing, inshallah.
IERA YouTube channel.
IERA YouTube channel. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be up literally within a very short period of time. Right, just a very short period of time.
Well,
hopefully.
We don't want to give people a particular timeline because the poor media guys, they have a lot of editing.
Hopefully, God willing, it will be up soon.
Yeah, we don't know when.
We don't know when, but
the thing is with these debates, it's best to try and get the footage out early as possible.
Yeah.
But you know, when I think about how much they need to do, like edit and this and that,
we'll make it easy for them.
Let's
say a few weeks then.
No, I can't. A few weeks, but basically, we'll try and
we'll get it up.
The media guys will try and put it out.
It'll go up when it goes up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But subscribe to the channel.
But people get very impatient. They're like, just you make it live or do this or do that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, look, you know, you really have to We were talking about this earlier in the meeting that you have to capture the audio. You have to do this. You have to do that. So yeah, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, there is a lot of stuff. Yeah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna end the live stream now. And carry on sending your questions and stuff. Even post live stream, we'll still go through them and try to answer them the best we can. Till next time, guys, take care. Assalamu alaikum.